Okay, and now I would like to go over some general instructions with you. Just as a reminder, we're still on the home page, okay? This is the last item that I have. I think it's the last item that I have on that section of the home page, and it's got some getting started instructions for you, and I will go over these with you now. Just a reminder that this is a 100% online class. There's no face-to-face meetings at all. This is designed to be convenient for you to work around your work schedule or your parenting schedule or your transportation schedule or whatever the case may be. If you've never taken an online class before, I really encourage you to make sure you understand everything in that orientation to Blackboard link that I showed you. One of the requirements of the course is that you know how to use Blackboard. And I need to be able to assume that you at least know your way around. Um, it's and another thing, just if you're new to online learning, it's great that it allows you schedule flexibility. Please do not make the mistake of thinking that it means you don't have to do as much work. It's a lot of times, I think, a lot more than than you might even have in a face-to-face class. Let's see, I need to change this right here where it says 3 to 6 hours, and I'll do that after this video is over. This is 3 to 6 hours for a regular course week. But of course, since this is a mini-mester, this is going to be very intensive. Everything is, cram-packed into about 4.5 weeks. And so basically, each week in this class is approximately the equivalent of 3 to 4 weeks in a regular semester. So I'll come up with a different number for this right here, but just be aware that you're going to have to cover an awful lot of material in a very, very short time in order to fully complete this class. Um, I will show you what I've done is I've broken the course up into weekly assignments, and I'm just going to scroll over here so that I can show you where that is. Okay. Back to the beginning of the home page. If you scroll all the way up to the top of the home page, the things that you're going to need access to are here on the left. Let me turn off edit mode so that mine looks exactly like yours. Okay, so yours should look pretty much like this. Here's where it says weekly lessons and activities, and you're going to have every week a folder. This is your week 1 folder, and I'll go ahead and open that for you. Now, in week 1 folder, I have 4 subfolders, and that is because in a regular semester, this would be for the first week, second week, third week, fourth week. Okay, so you can already see in week 1 that you're going to be covering what would be about 4 weeks worth of content. And let me show you the inside of the first folder, and I've tried to be as consistent as possible. I put on each folder what you can expect to find inside. There's some videos. There's links to your first 2 assignments, which are discussions, and the due date for everything. If you'll notice, it's all due at the same time. So this kind of lets you work at your own pace. And I'm highlighting everything in yellow because I'm hoping that makes it easier for you. Okay, so if you open up any given folder, what I will do is any assignments that you have, they're going to be at the top. Okay, there's going to be a link to the assignments at the top. Now, here's a link to, the first discussion, and basically all this link is going to do is take you to here. I'm trying to make it where you can access your assignments both within the weekly folder and outside of them as well. So I'm just going to click on this, and there's a little introductory text from me that gives you some more instructions that I want you to do. The way you would respond to this. Let me go back one step. All you need to do, once my computer decides to go back, is you're in the discussion number 1, just click Create Thread, and you will see my instructions up there. Enter, your name or something for the subject, and whatever I'm asking you for, enter in this box, and then click Submit. Okay. So you've got 2 of those. Let me get back into your week 1 folder here. You've got 2 of those, but as you can see, there's quite a few discussions that you'll have this semester, and you'll be directed to them when the time is right. I believe that what I've done so far is made only the ones that you need for the first week available. I don't think you're going to be able to access any discussion after number 3, because I think that's for next week, if I am correct. Let me go back to our week 1 folder. Okay, so now the first one you don't need to do any homework for. This is just kind of an orientation. Introduce yourself, put a little avatar of yourself in there. This one you can't do until you've reviewed all the content that's in this folder. So for your convenience, I'm putting links to your assignments at the top of the folder so that you have no trouble locating them, but that doesn't mean you do them first, okay? You need to do all of this stuff, and I know it looks like a lot, and it is a lot. The good news is that it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting, okay? You're going to be responsible for everything that is in these links. I'm particularly fond of TED Talks, so I'll just click on this one. And I really think you'll like this. I have yet to meet a student who doesn't like the TED Talks, and so they're quite interesting. So you'll want to take notes while you're viewing them. Some of them are reading, why be a professional. This is all very, very introductory stuff, and most of it's not long, but you could be asked a question on a quiz or an exam about any of the content in any of those links, and so you need to watch it all and read it all. And there's only one that's like multiple pages. Most of them are rather short. After you've done everything you see in black right here, then proceed to discussion 2, which is going to be a little bit more specific. Okay, I've got a link to a video here that you're going to need to watch, and you're going to, generally with discussions, I ask you to give me a 250-word statement. I may ask you to include an image. I also ask that you reply to at least 2 other people in the class for every discussion. The discussion boards are there to make them a public forum. Now, one thing I want to make very, very clear to you, this area here where it says message, you can go ahead and enter, the subject, put your name or whatever. Your answer, your 250-word statement goes in here. Do not attach it with the paper clip, okay? We do not want to have Word documents or images, okay, attached, because what that does is it means that we have to go outside the Blackboard environment to read something. we have to, um, a lot of times wait for a program that I can, view either your picture or your document in to load. It's very time consuming, and generally I've just kind of gotten to the point that if you don't submit things in the blogs and discussions as I request, and you give them to me as a attachment, I just won't grade them. And also, you cannot email your work to me. There's a couple of reasons for that as well. One is I need to see your work here in the course, or it won't show up in my grade book. Okay, so there's that. The other thing is I do not want you emailing me anything, because oftentimes the files have images and they're very large. And if I get a great big email with, one PowerPoint or, one great big picture in it or something, it could very well freeze up my entire email account, and I would have to delete it before I can even use my email for anything else. And so it's very important that you follow instructions, okay? And I'm just gonna, again, cancel out of this. So let me navigate back to the week 1 folder. Once you've done everything in the first folder, proceed to folder 2. And as you can see, everything is laid out in the same way. I will always have any assignments that you have to do in blue up at the top, and all of your content follows. And you have to, sometimes there's a lot, especially, remember, you're getting this stuff for free. But it's all important stuff, and those of us who pulled this course together have tried really hard to find content that students will find interesting. This is absolutely not supposed to be a boring class. If you get bored in this class, it might be you're not paying enough attention, because the stuff is really actually pretty cool, pretty interesting. I think you'll be surprised. Okay, so anyway, that kind of orients you to where the weekly lessons are. And as long as I'm in here, let me just show you some of these other things you need to know. Announcements. Now, if I have an announcement for you, they will show up on your STC homepage, as well as here in the course. But if you have an announcement, and new announcements will show up right here. But if you need to go back and read an old announcement, and I don't know if I've made any announcements in there yet, but every announcement I send will be there. A calendar, which I'm not really crazy about the Blackboard calendar. It's a little bit difficult to read at times, especially if you're working on a smaller screen. But for the most part, I have everything due on Sundays. This is actually supposed to be over here as well. I'm trying to be very, very consistent that everything you do in this class is due at 11:59 p.m. on a Sunday. So for the entire course, you'll have stuff due every Sunday from now until the end of your semester. If you choose to look at your calendar weekly, you can certainly do that, but the problem is that since everything is due at 11:59 p.m., for whatever reason, it doesn't show up, or it just barely shows up down here at the bottom. And so here, I'll show you. I'll go to the 15th and show you what I mean. Okay, so that's actually supposed to be 11:59 p.m. That's the only reason you're seeing it there. But I'll correct all of that. And you also, you have a daily access to the calendar as well. Remember that the calendar is subject to change. I do have a calendar also planned out for you in your syllabus, which I'll show you in a moment. And that is going to have a calendar of when things are due, but please remember that these things are subject to change. Okay, so check it frequently, and generally if I make any changes at all, I will send an announcement. Usually what I do is I'll send a group me and an announcement, or I'll send a group me message saying, hey, you need to read this announcement. Okay, so let me navigate. Oh, let's see, what else do I have in here? Messages. As I said, please send only the non-urgent messages, or if I ask you specifically to send me something here, this is not the best way to reach me, but you can email me or anybody in the class. Any projects that you have, they'll be in this folder here. There's more than the one project. That's just all that's showing up right now. There'll be the projects will be in here, and these projects will also be accessible through the weekly folders. Okay, so your weekly folder has links to everything. Your quizzes and exams, the only ones that are available right now are the ones in your week one folder. Okay, I am going to come back to the syllabus on another video so that this doesn't get too long. So let me navigate back to the home page, back to where we were, and I'll pick up from here on the next video.